Hello, I'm Dr. David Milgram, Holistic Oriented Cranial Chiropractor. Before going into honoring the vital body, key number 6, I'd like to share a song that I wrote from a William Blake poem regarding all the keys. Unless the eye catch fire, God will not be seen. Unless the ear catch fire, God will not be heard. Unless the tongue catch fire, God will not be known. Unless the heart catch fire, God will not be loved. Unless the mind catch fire, God will not be known. In key number 6, honoring the vital body, we start out with the root of grabbing hold. Grabbing hold for the vital energy. In Matt Wood's book of 7 herbs, herb associated with this is called black cohosh. Black cohosh is a very gnarly root, thick. You have to be a strong warrior in order to pick it. Black cohosh is for what Matt calls psychic whiplash. It's for the person who feels vulnerable to attack from outside forces. Just like Jacob, who was attacked by a dark angel in the middle of the night and had to use all his strength. He had to muster everything he got to overcome the dark angel. Of course, once he did, the dark angel said, "Well, let me up, you won." And Jacob said, "Not until you bless me." And the angel said, "I bless you, I change your name from Jacob to Israel." So this was the birth of Israel. So then the second that Jacob was renamed Israel, he let the dark angel up. And what did that dark angel do? He slapped him in the thigh and dislocated his hip, and Jacob limped home as the wounded healer. So he won the fight, and he limped home. So the wounded healer is the classic archetypal person with regards to the vital body. The wounded healer who experiences all kinds of onslaught from the outer world, and yet emerges the stronger for learning how to fight for what's right through grabbing hold of what's good. So I call the root of honoring the vital body grabbing hold. This is where we really learn to empower ourselves. The second level of honoring the vital body I call fortifying your essential creativity. Without grabbing hold, there is no real fortifying. One must seek to grab hold first in order to be enabled to fortify themselves with the essential nature of creative energy. The third level of honoring the vital body, what I call the branch, is forgiveness. Forgiveness, of course, is one of the most powerful healing forces in the world. And of course, no one needs to forgive unless they need to. But once you have forgiven, there is no need to. There's a great story I read in the sports pages back about 25 years ago. Hurricane Reuben Carter. Bob Dylan wrote a song about him. He was the heavyweight champion of the world in the 70s, and he got framed on a murder charge. Spent 18 years in the New Jersey pen. And when he got out, a young reporter said to him, "So are you bitter?" And the Hurricane said, "No." And the young reporter said, "What do you mean? How could you not be bitter after spending 18 years wasting your life in jail based on someone's lie?" And the Hurricane said, "One thing I learned sitting in the pen 18 years, young man. Bitterness consumes the cup that tries to contain it." So the Hurricane didn't have the need for forgiveness. We have a saying at home, "I don't forgive you because I don't blame you." Forgiveness is only necessary as a healing agent when we need it. But once we have used it, we don't need it anymore. That forgiveness, that core essential forgiveness when necessary, is a major vitalizing force to lift ourselves up to the leaves of honoring the vital energy body. And that I call the leaves of empowerment. At any moment in our life, we always can make the choice to empower ourselves or to re-up our lifetime subscription to Victims.com. The body actually has a will to be well and knows how to do it. When we empower ourselves with all good things, good food, good drink, good company, good music, good vibes, we empower ourselves rather than feel victimized by ourselves, God, or unseen forces in the outer world, like chemicals. Empowerment is where we really get to make a choice whether to lift ourselves up and allow the transformation that we want to occur. The fifth level of honoring the vital body, the sixth key, is called inner seeing. When we learn to trust our inner seeing, we then enable ourselves to be vitalized on a more complete level. The Hopis, whenever they make a major decision, they consult three beings: the past, the present, and the future. They ask the past, what can you tell us? What have we learned in the past? What do we need to be aware of that we've already known and learned from the past? They ask the present as if there is a spirit in the present moment that seeks to guide. What do you want to tell us now that will help us so that we can bless ourselves and our families, our people, the earth, so that we can move forward? So they also ask the future, as if there is a spirit being present from the future that already knows what's going on and wants to guide us. So the prayer, the statement of the sixth key is guide me. Let me be guided as to what I can do to empower myself and tear up that subscription to Victims.com. On the sixth level of honoring the vital body, the fruit of the vital body is regenerating strength, is regaining strength. This is often done through letting go of the karma from the past and grabbing hold of the Dharma, of what will lead you forth positively into the future. We let go of karma and we grab hold of Dharma, and in that way, when we get on track with being one with our purpose, we regenerate our strength. Again, any experience, any situation can be used to garner and gain greater strength, or can be used to let it go. The flower of empowering in the vital body is called inner seeing. Inner seeing and trusting our inner seeing enables us to do what needs to be done, regardless of circumstances. The wounded healer never forgets that they have a wound. They never forget that they have found some healing. They remember both, the wound and the healing, to make themselves stronger. Through trusting inner seeing, we become a great catalyzing force to raise ourselves up to the fruit of honoring the vital body, which is regenerating our strength. The seventh level of key number 6, honoring the vital body, is called blessings. Grabbing hold so strong, fighting so hard for what is right, empowering oneself in every way possible, not letting go of the dark angel until we're blessed, even if we end up with a wound. We keep exerting our strength on vital levels until we find blessing. How we are interpreting a message often is the prime determinant as to whether we are receiving and creating a blessing for ourselves or not. Ultimately, we want to receive and create blessings not only for ourselves, but for all others. The healing law of the vital body is the law of appropriate therapeutic activity. Doing the right thing. Well, what is the right thing? Well, it depends on the circumstances. There's a part of the brain that's always seeking to do the right thing. It's the pituitary gland that sits in the very center of the sphenoid bone. The pituitary is constantly monitoring what's going on within the body and controlling the thyroid, the gonads, the adrenals. The whole body really is dependent on the vital activity of the pituitary gland. In the Middle Ages, they named the pituitary gland the gland of persistent effort, because it never stops working to bless us. So the chakra that's associated with the honoring of the vital body is the sixth chakra. This is the place I call of knowing. This is where we really learn to know something. The pituitary itself is constantly having to know what's going on in the rest of the body so that it can produce the right hormones to keep the body in balance and strong. The core energetic of honoring the vital body is fighting for what's right, being strong and working for the good. Unfortunately, the dominant energetic is oftentimes victims.com. They did this, they did that, that's why I'm this way, there's nothing I can do about it. Tear it up, cancel it, even if it's a lifetime subscription. Empower yourself. Just as with Jacob and the dark angel, the core issue in honoring the vital body is oftentimes our own vulnerability and dealing with where we feel attacked by invisible forces. In this modern world, we're attacked by invisible forces every day through what are known as chemicals. The U.S. government has done very good studies on about 800 of the chemicals that we're exposed to every day, and yet we're exposed to 8,000 a day. So there's 7,200 chemicals, invisible, unseen forces that can act like dark angels attacking us in the night, when it might have just been something we had for dinner last night. That is the reason why we're waking up not feeling well. But just as Jacob overcame the dark angel right before the sun came up, a very interesting thing has been learned recently by neurologists. The brain itself literally shrinks when we sleep. The cerebrospinal fluid slows down, the brain shrinks, and that's why when we wake up in the morning, it takes us a while to let it get expanded again. It takes us a little while to regain our energy. If we've grabbed hold of a lot of negative things the day before or the night before, well, it's going to take a little longer to grab hold of our energy. But that's what we seek to do every morning, because in the physical body, in relation to the vital energy, The early morning is often the time when people feel like they're being attacked. When the attack nowadays, besides all the spiritual or negative forces, could be from chemistry and environmental pollutants. So the primary healing direction of honoring the vital is really just to get up and do what needs to be done, to follow your inner with grit so you can find the grace and the blessing of getting up and doing whatever you see to empower yourself. The tissue in the body from the inside out that's primarily associated with grabbing hold of vital energy, the sixth key, is the dura mater itself. The dura mater, the third layer of the meninges, means tough mother. It is the toughest tissue in the body. It is 78 times stronger than a ligament. You could take a 1 square centimeter of dura mater, tough mother, and you could hang on it. Your whole body weight could hang on that 1 square centimeter. That's how strong it is, because the dura mater is in charge of keeping your insides in, your brain, spinal cord, and your outsides out. Your dura mater is what moves your bones from the inside out. Your dura mater is what protects you from outside forces getting in. Stretching, yoga, moves the dura mater. Being free to have a range of motion in all directions, not just on the physical level, is empowering to all the levels of the body, the mind, and the spirit. So the core healing mode of honoring the vital energy in the body is tonification. It's not relaxing. It's not peace and serenity. It's tonifying. It's becoming stronger. It's having the grit so you can generate the grace for yourself and other people, and maybe even other unseen beings seeking to bless you. The healing statement that's in accord with honoring the vital is purify me. Holding the attitude to be purified harmonizes us and adapts us to let the original spirit of our soul be free. At the level 2 of the Positive Body Language seminars, we will be teaching the positive body language contacts for the root through the seed. The root of grabbing hold to find our energetic ground. The stem of fortifying our essential creativity to awaken ourselves spiritually. The branch of forgiveness to augment our mental potential. The leaf of empowerment to enhance the creation of emotional transformation. The flower of inner seeing and openness to guidance to physically regenerate ourselves. The regeneration of strength to have vital rejuvenation, and the reception, transmission, and creation of blessings to allow ourselves and others to have soul illumination. The metapracticum part of the honoring the vital body will also include what I call the Foramen Magnum breathing technique. The Foramen Magnum is probably the most vital center in the body, because this is where the brainstem connects with the spinal cord. This is where the brain connects with the body. I've developed ways through integrating the lessons of many teachers, to open the circumference of the foramen magnum, to free the vagus nerve, to allow relaxation, peace, tranquility, even serenity within the body. It's a very simple and yet effective technique. I look forward to seeing you at the upcoming Positive Body Language seminars.